What's up, affordable Armory folks? How y'all doing? Today I got a cool video for you. We're going to talk about the Springfield Armory Hellcat. This will be the full review. If you haven't seen my unboxing and initial shots review, I'll put a link to that up above or down below, somewhere like that. And go watch that video, then come back and watch this one. You'll see the full review. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so full review time. And I'll go ahead and show you. This gun is unloaded. There you go. You can see in the chamber, nothing in there. So, gun's unloaded. Alright, been a while since I've done a full rundown. So, we'll start with price and affordability, same as always. This gun is mid 500s to 600, somewhere around there. And it's comparable to the Sig Sauer P365 XL, which would be its main competition. I think the Sig is a little bit more expensive, but that's roughly what you're going to pay for this. So is that a good value? Well, it depends. If this is what you're looking for, then of course it is. If this is not what you're looking for, then no, it's not. If you're somewhere in between, that's where it gets a little tricky. For me, I wanted this gun, so I reviewed the non-optics gun, the non-optics ready model first. That was the one I did the unboxing of. I'll put a link to that so you can go back and watch it. But the non-optics ready one, I unboxed it, fired some rounds through it, and I was like, yep, I gotta have one, but I want the one with the optics ready. So for me, yes, it's a good price. Yes, it's affordable. I know it's a little over 500, and I try to stick to guns 500 and under, but you know, save a little cash, stop drinking Starbucks every day, and you'll be able to afford a gun like this. Capacity. This is where this gun truly shines. So you've got an 11 round magazine and you've got a 13 round magazine that comes standard with the gun, one of each. And personally, I highly recommend the 13 round magazine. When I was doing draws from the holster, man, I didn't quite grip right with the 11 round, but with the 13 round, it was perfect. So I'm probably going to get a couple more of the 13 round magazines for training purposes, and I'll probably carry with one 13 round in it and one 13 round as my spare. The 11 round is okay. Like I said, it's not quite as long as I need it to be, and but good on capacity. It's a little bit more capacity than comes standard with the P365. The P365 XL is 12 round standard capacity, so you know, it's right in between the 11 and 13 that this comes with. So pretty good value, and it's more capacity than the Glock 43X, which is 10 rounds, although they have the aftermarket mags that'll take that up to 15. But as far as out of the box value and capacity, this is better. I mean, 11 and 13 rounds right out of the box. You don't have to go find aftermarket stuff. There you go. Moving on to accuracy. So I'm going to roll some footage. If you guys saw my review of this optic here, you know that I struggled with it quite a bit. I did eventually get it to work for me, but I'll roll some more footage of me shooting it just to show you I did eventually get it to an acceptable level of accuracy. Okay, so here I am with the Springfield Hellcat, and I'm going to shoot 10 rounds with the optic turned off, and then I'm going to turn the optic on and shoot 10 more rounds at a different target. And I'm going to do this at 10 yards, and I'm going to compare the two just to see. Here we go. Okay, that was just irons, and now I'm gonna turn the optic on. Here we go. Okay, so looking at both targets, the one on the left is just iron sights, and the one on the right is the optic. So winner is the optic. I mean, that's at 10 yards. You know, it could still be a little bit better for each of them. I was obviously high and to the left on just iron sights, and then with the optic, most of them were in the center, but I have one that's high and to the right, and then a couple that are low and to the left. So I don't know. I mean, it's decent enough accuracy at 10 yards, so I would call that good. And I'll probably keep shooting it and work on it to get it even better. But for now, I'm happy with that. The optic did what it was supposed to do. It shoots better than the iron sights at 10 yards. Well, the optic doesn't shoot better. I shoot better with the optic at 10 yards. So there we go. Pretty happy with it. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about reliability. And I am somewhere around 500 rounds through this thing. I don't have an exact round count because I don't do exact round counts. I think that's dumb. And most of the people who give you exact round counts are lying anyway. I know for a fact that I've done over 400 rounds because I have done boxes of 50 and shot all 50 rounds, up to 400 rounds total, in multiple shooting sessions. And I've also been, I switched out my carry ammo earlier this year, so all of my carry guns got fresh ammo. So I dumped all of those rounds into plastic bags, and I've been putting those rounds through here as well. There's probably close to 100, if not more, and I have shot them all. So I'm going to say I'm right at about 500. Again, not exactly 500. It might be slightly less. It might be slightly more, but somewhere around there. And so far, not a single malfunction. I know y'all probably hate hearing that because everyone's, oh, this gun's great. I haven't had a single malfunction. I've put 1,000 rounds through it. That's not me, okay, guys? I don't play that game, and I'm telling you, at least 400 plus all of my carry ammo that I switched out, which was close to 100 rounds, if not a little over 100 rounds, and 0 malfunctions, okay? Just trust me. Moving on. Ergonomics and feel. So, I really like these grips. I think the slightly aggressive texturing is nice. There's a very subtle finger groove right there that my fingers fit into nicely. I think, again, I mentioned the 13-round magazine fits me better than the 11-round magazine, but the 11-round magazine is doable. As far as the slide serrations, I think they're nice. They could be a little deeper. I mean, they're there, and they're there, but they're not like super grabby. I don't even know the word to describe it. Hopefully you understand what that means. It does have front serrations for anyone who wants to do their tactical Timmy and press check, that type of stuff. It does have these indentions for your finger and your thumb when you get your grip. That's kind of nice, little memory pads. The controls are nice and recessed. They're not sticking out very much. I like that, but they're also still easy to work and manipulate. The mag release is very easy to access. I mean, your thumb rides right there. You just move it down and there it is. So very easy to do. And it's not ambidextrous, so any of you wrong-handed folks out there probably might not like this gun, but, not a big deal. I could do without the Springfield Armory logo on the top of the slide there. I think that's a little over the top, but I do like the nice little Hellcat on the side. That's pretty good. And then Springfield Armory on the side, I'm okay with that. But yeah, the top there, the big old logo, that's kind of overdoing it a bit. But apart from that, you know, oh, and the other thing that this has, the SIG does not have a front rail. This does. So that's kind of cool. The SIG is a proprietary rail, and this is standard Picatinny rail. So if you wanted to put a light or laser on there, you could. And the sights, I think I mentioned this, but if not, I really like these sights. Nice high-vis yellow front sight and a U-notch rear. Very easy to acquire these sights. So ergonomics, very, very good. I also like the trigger here. I don't know that that's necessarily a flat trigger. It's flat-ish. And then the bladed trigger, you know, some people like the SIG because it doesn't have the trigger dingus. Me, I mean, whatever. I've shot plenty of Glocks, plenty of M&Ps, plenty of SIGs. It's all the same to me, guys. My finger goes on the trigger just like that. Whether it's this style trigger, whether it's a non-bladed trigger, whether it's a hinge trigger, it doesn't matter. My trigger finger goes there. It does not matter to me. I don't care. So flat, curved, whatever. It's not a big deal. Are there better triggers out there? Yes, absolutely. Are there worse triggers? 100%. I want to mention that there is an aftermarket trigger for this. Apex decided to make a trigger for the Hellcat, so if you want to swap this trigger out, you can. And that brings me to trigger press and weight, which I've kind of been rambling about for the last couple minutes anyway. You know, I don't want to weigh it exactly, but there is your take up. There is your press. Nice crisp break. And there's your reset. Very audible reset. Guys, this trigger is everything you would expect from a striker fired trigger. You know, it's good. It's fine by me. If you want a different one, go ahead and get the Apex trigger for it. They do have aftermarket triggers, so that's kind of nice. Holsters are pretty readily available for this thing. It's popular enough that most companies are making a holster for it now, including Tolster, who I love. I've told you about multiple times. And I think the magazines are pretty readily available too. So overall, this is a fantastic gun. Lots of value, easy to find accessories for it, easy to swap parts for it. So purpose of this gun, concealed carry. That's pretty much it. It's a small gun, very easy to conceal, but high capacity at the same time. High capacity for its size, I should say. You know, hate using that word high capacity because the politicians think you're talking about AR magazines that are standard capacity. But anyway, high capacity micro 9mm is what I would call this thing. And, you know, I think the purpose of this gun is just that, concealed carry. Pack a lot of rounds into a small package, and I think that's a good thing. Could it be a range gun? Absolutely. You know, I will probably take this to the range quite a bit and shoot it. I'm going to throw it in my carry rotation. Could it be a home defense gun? Possibly. It does have a high-vis night sight on it right out of the box, and you also have the Picatinny rail, so you can mount a flashlight. So, yes, it could be a home defense gun. I would typically prefer a larger gun for home defense, but if this was going to be your only gun, you wanted to conceal it and use it for home defense, could be. Absolutely. Go for it. So there you go. Good carry gun. Could be a home defense gun. Could be a range gun. I think saying all of that, you should go buy this gun. I can highly recommend it. Okay, so final thoughts on the Springfield Armory Hellcat. I like it. I think it's a good value pistol, and even though it's a little more expensive than some of your other options out there, I really like that it holds 11 rounds or 13 rounds depending on the magazine. I think it's fairly easy to shoot. I do actually like the trigger. I know some people don't care for it, but for me, it's fine. I haven't had any issues with it. It did take me a while to learn it, but I have gotten used to it. The optics on here, I'm not settled on this particular optic, but I do like that it has the option to mount an optic. And I really, really like the iron sights. I like the high-vis front sight with the U-notch rear. I think that works out really well. So overall, I would say if you like this gun, go out and buy one. I'm not regretting buying this. I have no intention of getting rid of it, and I'm probably going to throw it in my carry rotation. So there you have it. As always, head over to affordable-armory.com. That's where the blog lives. That's where all of our social media links are. That's where all of our affiliate links are, so you can save yourself some money on something you were going to buy anyway. And we've got cool stuff like this hat. We've got t-shirts and all sorts of other merchandise for you. So anyway, do that, support the channel, and we'll see you next time.